Hello, 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 and greetings, everyone. I am so delighted to be here. My name is Joelle, and I am the Viberarian. I am here to elevate, enlighten, empower. This is part of my daily kind of creed and mantra. And when I come on, it's with the intention that those that I share with also get to enlighten and elevate and hopefully empower themselves along the same journey, frequency, and vibration that I'm on. This is In the Cards live. I'm up here at Holistic Health and Wellness for my usual third weekend of the month. I'm here every third weekend. You can book in-person readings with me. You can schedule appointments. There are limited walk-ins available. And of course, I love Holistic. It's a place where I go to get my supplies, tap into my crew, the Good Vibe Tribe. I travel with Dawn on the retreats and things that she brings forward. And of course, I'm wearing my Well Gems pieces that Stacy made that you can also pick up here. So that's my little plug for the moment in terms of talking about the space where I'm at. This is in Marietta, Georgia. So if you're in the Atlanta area, please take the time to come up. There are wonderful readers and service providers here, and you can check the schedule to see who's in-house at any given time. And of course, there are workshops, events, and learning opportunities. You can learn how to make candles. Today there's a heart connection workshop that's happening starting at 2:22. And I know the facilitator, Dr. Tracy, she's amazing. She's going to be working with you to communicate with your heart to bring forward like a message of love from you to you. So anyway, without any further ado, today I wanted to bring in messages. I'm also working with live audience and then also the group who are joining through my YouTube channel, The Viberary. If you're in the chat and can comment, your comments will, of course, be on the screen. I think I figured out the technology since last month. Oh, hey, Kate, welcome. Yay, Kate, thank you for joining. Kate is another practitioner. If you need to communicate with your animals, your furry family, and your friends, Kate would be who you should contact. Either living or on Beyond the Rainbow Bridge. And if you're looking for Reiki services, that's also her thing to do. So I've met Kate through the community here, another wonderful benefit of this community. Dawn, how are you doing back there? You have anything you want to say?
Hello, no, you're doing good.
Dawn never likes to come on camera, so okay. One of the things that I love as a Viberarian is I have a Viberary, a collection of resources, and part of the things that I have amongst many books is a library of oracle cards. I love cartomancy or card divination, which is using the visual and message images that people put onto cards to be able to connect with in my case, my clairvoyance or my inner vision, clairaudience. It's a very good medium for me because I understand then what is being communicated to me. A lot of times people are put off by cards because either they've learned lessons from religious times where they're saying, oh, these are a bad thing to do, or they get scared because they're like, oh, what if I get the devil or the death card? And so people are put off also because it's a system when you're reading tarot, and you do need to kind of understand the language of archetype of energy. And depending on which tarot, if you're using like Rider-Waite versus the Thoth system, there are different structures to the same 78 card system. So people are put off by that. But a beautiful thing about oracle cards is that each tool stands alone, and it's based on what the artist creates and has received as messages. And there will be a guidebook included with it, but it also can trigger your own psychic knowing that expands what the author intends for the message. So that's why I love cards. And so I try to bring, when I come up here, hey, hello, everyone who's there. Okay, 222 is a wonderful vibration. Mona Sam 222, thank you for coming. So there's a lot of people, I may not know your screen names, but I might know you like in real life. So forgive me if I'm not always connecting the dots here. But sorry, we've got a little outside construction noise happening. Is it? Oh, it's the teapot. I'm sorry, we're getting ready for the afternoon. So what I try to do is whenever I'm going to do readings up here or other places or with clients, I tune into my guidance, meditating, clearing my energy, and then I scan the cards. I have over 150 cards in my collection. Oh, hey, Zena. Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Okay, this is all my people who I sent messages out to are popping in. So thank you so much. But so I scan and see what decks I am meant to use to communicate the messages from spirit on that day. And it varies every time. And it's always such a delight because I don't know exactly why I'll be guided to bring decks, but then when the cards are presented, oftentimes there's like the same energy with a different symbol, or the same symbol will come out in the second deck or the third deck or the fourth deck. And by the time we get done tapping into the consciousness, this picture emerges that is truly fun to experience. I know, Don, you can testify to how there have been times where it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this came out again and again and again. So today I have 4 decks that I brought with me. And these are decks that I feel are not the typical thing that you'll find in the store on other channels. And I'm delighted to be able to tap into these resources here for the collective and for our benefit to receive the messages today. So we are in the eclipse window. I'm not an astrologer, so if you need astrology, definitely connect with one, but I am conscious and aware and awake to the fact that there are energies that will flow between the 2 windows, the lunar and solar, solar and lunar, however that happens. And so when we're dealing with the lunar, we're dealing with our inner world and reality and things that may not have been visible to us before. And then when we're dealing with the solar, it is things on the world stage, global, that are going to impact everyone. During the last eclipse last year, what happened for me is that I was working in one way in my 3D job, and I thought that I was feeling okay about it, but vibrationally I had been kind of bargaining away certain things that were not truly speaking to my heart, because I was comfortable and I enjoyed the people I was working with to a degree. But then something happened that shifted my emotional vibration, and I wasn't quite aware of it yet. So when the eclipse came in, that happened. And then by the time the solar eclipse came a few weeks later, I had already received a new job offer that vibrated to me that was a match, and it was a sudden shocking shift to the external reality of where I was. It changed what it looked like for me. Not only that, it changed what it looked like for the place where I had been, and then it changed some things that I was not aware of for the company that had placed me where I was. So it was like an eclipse for everybody that changed things, but it was directly related to my emotional shift inside and a vibration that had changed in me that was no longer resonant. So if we're here in another eclipse window, a lunar solar cycle, then we had the lunar on, I think, the 17th of February, and the solar is coming up in early March. So a lot of things have been shifting in our external reality already that are changing how people feel about what is happening. And of course, in the United States, there's a lot going on geopolitically in the global stage, but in the macro, we have also then in the micro. So I wanted to see what guidance we have during this portal time between those two windows, what Spirit wants to talk with us about. So the first deck that I want to pull out here, and thank you. Also, I see Jackie has joined in. All right, let's see here. Is the Oracle of Portals. All right, so we're going to first tap in and say, this deck says between what is and what may be are the realms of possibility. Open the door and step through to behold the dreams that call to you. So let us look and see. We're going to first dial in the fractal and see what portal theme wants to be communicated to us in this now moment. So people ask all the time about doing it right. The thing that I will say about reading cards is that I always put out there in my frequency that I only am connecting with the energies of unconditional love and light. And so that any guidance that's communicated through me is for my best and highest good and the highest good of all. So I clear my cards by knocking on them and breathing the breath of life, my intention and frequency. Some people do this with the cards, where they shuffle. If I try to do that, the cards go everywhere, right? So to me, there is no right or wrong way to shuffle, but what it is doing for us as human beings is that we are ritualistic. And so for us, it's more about us feeling okay about receiving the guidance that's communicated to us. So some people will say, well, the card didn't pop out. I don't know if that really was the right message, or, oh, it fell on the floor. I'm not sure if that was right. So if there's doubt in you, that's okay. Do whatever you need to do to confirm and feel all right about the message that came out. And then you may second guess yourself and say, well, I don't know if I'm thinking the right thing. But when I first saw it, I thought about that part. When I first saw it, that first impression, that first interaction is okay, right? And so the logical mind will begin to kick in and say, well, I don't know if that's the real card meaning. Let me look it up. That's perfectly fine too. You might get some additional guidance from the real dictionary meaning of what the card is or what the Oracle deck guidebook says. But don't ever let that override what you feel is true. And if something doesn't resonate in the now moment, that is also okay. But don't forget the card. If you keep a journal, write it down. If you have a phone, take a quick audio recording and say, okay, today I pulled the so-and-so card. I don't even know what it means. I wasn't feeling it today. But then in a week or two, you might just be like, where did I see that picture at? I saw a frog. A frog came out on my car. Oh, let me go back to that. And then you'll tap back in and you'll realize, oh, that was the message that I was meant to get, right? So there is a continuity of the experience that is really about us getting a conversation with the higher powers and our higher guidance. And it is a lot more gentle than we take it to be. A lot of times we get real uptight and worried and concerned about being wrong. And that's just something that we can really release as we begin to trust in our connection with Source, right? So, all right, we are going to first pull our portal card. Don, would you come up and pull the portal card, please? I know you always hate being on camera, but you don't even have to be on camera. Just your little hand can step through. How about that? Hold on here. All right. So what I'm going to do is let Dawn pull for us the portal that is open now in this Eclipse window. All right. Thank you, everyone who is here in the chat. All right, Dawn, let's open our portal of the Eclipse. Now, Dawn, when you draw cards, how do? You just kind of felt then and
I look and just know where to go.
Know where to go. All right, wonderful. So what do we have here?
Other world.
Other world. Look at this portal. This is interesting. I'm seeing all kinds of things like the birth canal, even here, stepping through to another world. We are definitely changing. We've got the fire horse year that just started. We shed the skin of the water snake year right around the same time as the lunar eclipse. So we are stepping into something. And what is very interesting is we are not going to be recreating, or we should not be trying to recreate an old version of a revised version of the old. We really have an opportunity to create something we've never seen before. And so those structures that have made us comfortable and uncomfortable in the past, the polarity, we can move through that to create something. What I know is that I want a reality that's based on universal love, unconditional love for all beings, no matter what shape, form, size, whether animal, plant, human. So that otherworldliness is what I am holding as a frequency at all times to try to continue to manifest my reality forward. So let us see here. What do you see when you get this card?
Transformation is what came to mind when I saw it initially.
Yes, wonderful. Dawn, did you have any indicator?
Just of light.
Of light. Okay. Transformation and of light. I love that. Okay, let us see here this is by Tess Whitehurst. This is card number 21, which 21 is a 3, which for me is about balance of mind, body, spirit, feminine, masculine, and the overlight, and harmony. So it's a beautiful. So this card says in the book that the other world is beckoning. A spirit or spirits on the other side is communicating with you or trying to. This is nothing to fear or shy away from. Bravely gazing into the other world portal is a vital aspect of your magic and your personal power. This card could appear as a validation that you are a natural medium and that mediumship is something you will enjoy pursuing. Or it can be telling you that you have a loved one or ancestor on the other side who has been trying to get your attention. It could also be alerting you that there's a stuck or unhappy ghost in your home who would benefit from receiving your assistance with crossing into the light. If none of these messages seem to resonate, or if you're not sure, while you've drawn this card, you can make contact with the other world directly to learn whatever the spirit wants you to know. Light a black candle on your altar, or optionally light some copal or sweetgrass incense as well. Call on the divine in a way that feels powerful for you, perhaps invoking Archangel Michael to surround you in a sphere of protective golden white light. Ask only that positive energy and loving energies can enter that sphere. Then close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and center your mind. Now open up your consciousness to whoever is present on the other side. Ask who is there. When you see a face in your mind's eye or connect with a name or presence, ask what this spirit would like to communicate with you. What do they want you to know? In what ways would they like you to assist? If you feel guided to perform a space clearing on your home on a sunny day, invoke the divine and or one or more angelic helpers of your choice. Ask for support in helping escort any stuck or wayward spirits into the light. Then open all the windows and doors to the outside. Light some copal incense and move around each room and area of your home in a counterclockwise direction. If your incense isn't already on a plate or dish, be sure to hold one under it to catch any burning embers. Then extinguish the incense or let it burn down. Thank the divine helpers you've invoked and close the doors and any windows you'd like closed. Rest assured that you have access to whatever wisdom you need to know. Relax, tune into your intuition, and take action as you are guided. This is so interesting for me personally because I am definitely dealing with something that is in my home that is a remainder of a maintenance issue that has not been thoroughly resolved by my landlord, right? So there is a residue and an energy of my discontent, for one, because I have been unhappy with them and I don't feel like they have been respectful towards me as a resident of the house in terms of resolving their obligation to me. So even that energy of entanglement, of discontent, of not feeling valued or respected can embody then a frequency that can lodge itself into my space. Right. So I have been trying to do conscious exercises to shift my feeling towards my adversary, if you will, so that I don't position them as an adversary and so that I can feel harmony and love towards just the everyday people who are trying to get their job done. Right. So how that relates to our world stage, right? There are so many opportunities to begin to see something as adversarial to us, as not respecting us, as not following our boundaries, of not meaning us any goodwill or intention. And that can make us feel frustrated, upset, devalued, all of those things. And as we are sitting in that energetic transaction, it can become embodied into a form. I think the term would be an egregore. And I'm definitely seeing all the energies running rampant in the collective of the feelings of negativity. It only takes a single phrase in social media or in someone or a news story, and all of a sudden you're sitting with this angry ghost, this unpacified, unresolved energetic transaction. So while we're in this portal, like, let's see all the things that we are infusing and embodying unknowingly just from our mind sitting and running through the frequency, and make an option to consciously shift it to a different kind of transaction versus being pushed into a continuance of the adversarial, of the phantoms of the past, of the wrongs and the harms. Like, let's seriously sit in the space and move forward through that. And so I'm definitely going to do a more active exercise. For me, copal is a scent that just evokes my trips to Mexico. It is like the incense of the indigenous in the Mayan and down through the Yucatan. It invokes the ancestors, and before they do any kind of ceremonial or in the house, they're burning copal in goblets and resins. And so whenever I smell that, it just brings forward this energy of generations beyond, behind me, bringing forward tradition. So I'll definitely be burning some copal versus sage to be able to, release whatever previous energies are in the house that are not aligned with supporting me in my non-adversarial living dynamic, right? So, all right. So this is very interesting. There's a lot of energy coming in right now from that. So welcome everyone who's here. We're just still live streaming and continuing with the guidance. So that would explain to me then why I was guided to bring in the Native Heart Healing Oracle. So we're dealing with indigenous energies. I love this little deck. It's beautiful, by Melanie Ware. I haven't used this deck probably in 2 or 3 years. So again, as I said, I tap in before I come, and Spirit guides me into what decks to bring. So we are going to bring in, I believe in always balancing and bringing in the polarity, because we're all operating in feminine and masculine. feminine feeling and masculine doing. And we're not meant to hold those two things separate anymore. We're integrating so that we are taking what we intend and feel and manifesting it into intention with action out in the world. So that's where I'm in conceptually in terms of balancing my own inner masculine and feminine. So I'm going to draw 2 cards. So Kim, would you come up and be the conduit for the next 2 cards that we will pull in? Yeah, have a seat. And I will see about shifting the camera here so we could see everyone. You might have to move a little closer, but on the next cards, I want to let the audience know that you will be the ones who select the cards for the next layer and the next deck that we use. But so for right now, we're going to ask Kim. And Kim, you are also one of the readers here at Holistic. Would you share a little bit about yourself?
Well, hello, community. I was born with natural psychic abilities. I'm very clairaudient, Spirit speaks to me via subtle whispers, music, and many other different avenues. Also through dreams. I've always had since childhood very vivid dreams that oftentimes come true. Also, I feel like I was actually called to do this as opposed to me seeking this. So I'm just a vessel and this is my purpose. And also for the store, I will be facilitating the Tarot, Oracle Lounge next Sunday, and would be glad to have you all if you can attend.
Wonderful, wonderful. When I was bringing in that other world message about my home, were you getting any pings or messages or hearing anything?
Not at that time.
Wonderful. All right. So let's see here. I'll have you just draw first for the feminine side, however you choose. Like you can hold it, deck however you choose the feminine side first, and then we'll pull the masculine.
I'm called to this one. You're the stubborn one.
Okay, feminine side.
And then I was called initially to that one for masculine.
All right, so we have here, full moon. Look at this beautiful energy full of the green background, which again is, I just got a big wave. Okay, so that's like Mother Earth, Mother Gaia, and the heart center that we are using to create. I love this energy because it also has dragonflies on it, and it almost looks like flowing hair to me going along the sides. It's definitely ripples of vibration. And of course, we know that the full moon has the strongest gravitational pull on our waters, on our emotional self, on the planet, on Earth. As you get this energy, what are you receiving?
Intuition is what's coming to mind.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing beyond the veil.
Yes, wonderful, wonderful energy here. Seeing beyond the veil, full moon. And I'm interesting because I'm seeing, okay, where did I put the portal card? If you'll notice here, that same portal is in here that we have here. So there's a repeating, and to me that again is the sacred divine being born through the birth canal into a different format or consciousness. So, all right, let us see here what we have. This is card number 29, which is full moon, which is 11. So that's conscious co-creation with spirit. And so we have coming to fruition, rewrite your story, shift in consciousness. Hello, welcome, welcome. Have a seat. Hey, Stephanie, how are you doing? All right. Morning. Yes, so we're just bringing in a message for the collective here. We're just streaming live to YouTube. We're continuing to welcome people from the shop into the live. So continue going on. So interesting because it says rewrite your story. And I was just talking about rewriting the story with the adversary intentionally so that I would not continue to have this dynamic play out between myself and the owner of the property. So also shift in consciousness. So this mandala is guiding you to connect with the cycles of grandmother moon, especially the phase of the full moon. Every 28 days, Grandmother Moon shines in full grandness upon the shadows you have allowed to creep into your heart. She does so to guide us to release the burdens of all that no longer serves. Humans are creatures of habit, and over time, humanity has become accustomed to carrying stories, beliefs, and fears, some of which can become unwanted and unnecessary baggage. During accelerated times of learning, as we each shift in consciousness, we are creating new ways of being within the physical self and may find it necessary to let go of aspects of our old self. Okay, we were talking about eclipse, taking things and releasing them, shifting them as they're eclipsed out of our reality. And we just ended the water snake year, which was shedding of the skin of that which no longer fits because we've outgrown it. And the fire horse leaps ahead with freedom into the new consciousness for the next year. All right, so for eons, people have honored and celebrated the full moon and the light she brings into our lives. This card is a reminder of how important it is to celebrate this journey called life and to let go of all that is holding you back. Allow the wings of the dragonfly to carry all that you release back into the moonlight, where the ancient mother turtle carries it on to the sisters of the night sky. This card could indicate a time of dance and celebration as you move forward, lighter on your feet. Your connection with the earth is deepening. Love for self and your spirit are expanding the infinite relationship you share with your heart and the heart of all that is. In a full moon meditation, where possible, create a sacred space outside. You can do this by adorning the space of your choosing with beautiful things that sing to your heart. For me, this is flowers, crystals, feathers, rocks, and candles. You may wish to go for a walk and gather pieces from nature. With the items you have chosen, create a circle large enough to stand in. Use a compass to mark the 4 directions. Place the full moon mandala in the center of the circle. And you're free to take a picture of this card before you leave if you need to. Address a list of all you wish to release to your higher self and the great beings of light. Continue to write down the things to be released until you come to a place of peace. You may also wish to write down how you intend to move forward from here. Remember to finish the letter with appreciation. Take it outside and stand in your circle. Hold the letter to your heart and step into the circle from the east. Place your writing at the center of the circle and take a moment to feel the emotion of release and what they bring. You may feel joy, relief, sadness, or trust. If you wish to burn your letter, the sacred smoke will return all you have released to the universe. When you have completed your release ceremony, exit the circle to the west. So this for me is informing what I'm going to do when I go home. One of the things about the property is that when I moved in, I discovered there were all kinds of crystals sitting out along the fence line, and it looked like the previous owner had made a crystal garden. So my young nephew went around for me and uncovered them all because they were going to get in the way of the landscapers anyway. So I've just got this pile of white crystals sitting like in one space in the yard. So now I know I'm going to go ahead and make a circle with them, take my copal, and I'm going to write my letter of release from all the issues that's going on in the house, all the things that I've been frustrated by and resolving, and all the feelings of resentment that I've had about it. I'm going to write all that down and script a new reality and burn that copal from the ancestors and script a new reality in order to bring in something new and let go of the old. So this is, again, how talking with spirit with cards helps you understand more fully how you can elevate your frequency. That's why I love card divination. So in this, it says that the key elements are the silver ray, the emerald green ray, the heart chakra, water, the third eye chakra, flow, surrender, the lotus flower, ceremony, and the ancient mother. All right, so this is beautiful. This was actually the card for the feminine polarity. So this aligns so perfectly with that emotional mother, grandmother, turtle self. And so I love that. So let's see what the masculine said. Oh, What is it?
Ancient dragonfly.
We have on this side of this card dragonflies. She pulled ancient dragonfly. Right. So again, this is why I love cartomancy, because things happen that you can't plan. You know, this is not card tricks. This is a conversation using cards. So here we have these two energies, masculine and feminine, from the native heart mandala. So you can see here more of the sacred geometry. And now the dragonfly is in the center. And what's interesting is that this almost looks like a little salamander in the top. And when the property management people were out this week, there were little lizards around the house, and the little lady was getting freaked out by them. But I said, they're here to eat the mosquitoes that will be coming. So, you know, we're going to let the salamanders continue. And also in Mayan, you know, the lizards are like the dream guardians for the dream walkers. So that usually when I see something like that, then I'm going to get a foretelling dream as well. So, all right. So let's see what the dragonfly spirit, and this is 28, which is the 10. 10 is like completion. It's closing out and beginning to set your new program, your binary code, your 1 year 0. So we have that opportunity to set the program that we want to do before it begins running and begins to create when we're at the point of 10. So it's interesting. We have 28 and 29 that came out, and they were completely different places in the deck. So recurring themes, breaking a habit, and letting go of unhelpful beliefs. The ancient dragonfly mandala contains the flower of life. The intertwining infinity symbols in the flower of life represent one's core self. Each infinity symbol is an energy center that holds the pure vibration of love, power, and wisdom. As above, so below, as within, so without. As creatures of habits, humans carry many thousands of years of learned behavior within their cellular memory. These behaviors are not true to your being. As you step further along your path and choose to grow and raise your vibration, it becomes ever more important to love and thus let go of learned behaviors with appreciation for the lessons learned. Ancient dragonfly lies between the worlds with grace. She is light, balanced in her center, and she is free. She is the center of and therefore makes up the flower of life. Your nature as an infinite being is light, transparent, joyous, balanced, and loving. Everyone is blessed with the ability to let go of learned behaviors at any given time. The choice is always yours. You can get with this or you can get with that. It's just what I heard. Okay. Ancient dragonfly is with you, asking you to be true to your infinite nature. To do so, notice behaviors within yourself that are limiting. Filter each one of these behaviors through the gateway of the heart. It is within this space that you will find ancient dragonfly ever ready to assist you in loving and releasing all that doesn't serve you. To truly let go, love something holy, and set it free. Fly free, my friend. In the ancient dragonfly meditation, lie down somewhere comfortable where you won't be disturbed and place this mandala on your heart. Close your eyes and focus on your breath. Inhale to the count of 5, hold for 5, then exhale to the count of 5. Repeat this until you feel deeply relaxed and grounded. Bring your awareness down to your heart space and allow yourself to journey within. Feel how safe you are. You will find yourself within a vast, empty space of silence. The energy of ancient dragonfly is with you. Watch her dance. She is light, she is free, and always ready to be of service. When you are ready, observe any thoughts and heavy feelings that you have been harboring. Filter each one through your heart space, loving each one as you do. Take a deep breath in and feel yourself releasing that heaviness. See the wings of dragonfly expand to transmute each thought and feeling back to love. When you are ready, bring your awareness back to your physical body and open your eyes. You are light. You are free. The key elements are the emerald green ray, the heart chakra, air, water. It is a powerful healer of any chakra, self-acceptance, love, detachment, observer, and calm. I love this. This is beautiful because the freedom of the fire horse is joyful running without reins, without any kind of limitations, like moving with fire and with energy. So to be able to do that from a calm space rather than from fear and anxiety, because the old world of what we experienced was a different frequency of vibration. It's really hard when you look at the external world to really feel free because we've got signs of restriction all around us. But if we start one by one with the frequency and refuse to buy into that reality, when we step into that other world consciousness, we are going to create the freedom for us and for everyone by our own vibration, which is going to be transmitted to those without us ever saying a word. I know we've all walked along beside somebody and encountered them on the sidewalk, that they're skipping and maybe having their own little conversation in their head, and they're unbothered by what anybody is saying to them. And it usually should bring a smile to our face rather than a judgment of, they need to take that at home, right? You know what I'm saying? But we've all encountered that free-spirited energy, and it does put a little spring on our step. So we can be that frequency for others as well. All right, so we're going to continue on with the frequency. It's so interesting because Dr. Tracy that's coming in to do the heart workshop after this, she connects you to your heart as a portal, and you have a conversation and sit down and bring forth the true loving power guidance that your heart wants to communicate to you. And so she is going to have you create like connect and paint, create a piece of art that represents that conversation as part of it. So this is beautiful to have it tying in with that connection and breathing through the heart portal. All right, so we're going to pull from the next step. I'm going to have Stephanie, you come up for the next part. We're going to leave these out because we're drawing a picture here. All right, so this deck is called the Messages of Universal Wisdom Empowerment Cards by Barbara Evans. Now, in this deck, there again is that masculine and feminine. So in here, as she says, where's her little information card? The feminine is in the images, and then the masculine is in the words. So she did this intentionally because it is about tapping into like the feminine intuition, and then again with that masculine structure. So we're going to have you draw, this is the feminine side then with just the images. I already shuffled this before. It's a very thin deck when used, but it'll be interesting to see how the two polarities, if they come out with resonant energies as well. So here's for the feminine side. All right. And then let me get this a good shuffle here. Oh, speaking of, here is Tracy now. Tracy, we've been talking about opening a heart-shaped portal to connect with it and bring in a frequency.
I just heard it on the live stream.
Oh,
I was like, just in time.
All right, so here, let's put the feminine here and then draw for the masculine, the words, which is going to be the logic. All right. So for the feminine, healing the waters of the earth, my gift is healing. All right, and we had Mother Earth here, Grandmother Moon, bringing in the energy as well. So we're going to, I'm going to need to look at the words from the masculine side real quick here, just to pull it. Okay, so I hold the vibrations of pure love and radiate them to you and to the waters of the earth. My purpose is to open the door to love. I invite you to open your heart and allow these vibrations to initiate healing. The energy of healing is pure love, and the gateway to healing is your heart. Healing aligns and connects you with your true self, awakening and activating your divine blueprint. Open your heart to love and feel its beauty spread throughout your being. You are loved more than you can ever imagine. What a beautiful frequency, right? Bringing forward, pulling on those waters of our planet, the message from the ancient mother, pulling in as we step into a new reality that we are going to create with this absolute frequency of being loved. There's nothing we have to do, change, or be to experience being fully vibrational love. All right, now let's see what the masculine, with grace. I love this. Okay. How many times, like I said, with grace rather than judgment, rather than being adversarial with my landlord, like give them grace. They're people who are trying to do their job, right? Maybe they're not doing it to the way that I wish, but they got up just like I did, brushed their teeth, went to work that morning. And maybe they're uncomfortable working for the corporation that has these values that don't align with themselves, just like I was before that old position was eclipsed from my reality. So, that ease and grace, and having grace and understanding for the ones that are the most challenging. Like we could all pick somebody on TV right now that we see in the news all the time, be it one side or the other, and find it really hard to be graceful about them. That is where our challenge lies. And the challenge to sit then with the energy of vibrating, even for 5 minutes. I put my judgment aside and I beam my true heart center and frequency of love to you unconditionally. You don't have to change your policy. You don't have to change your behavior. I'm going to just send that 5 minutes. If that's all I could do, that's all I could do, right? So grace says, I hold the vibrations of compassion and divine grace. My purpose is to trigger within you the activation of divine feminine energies. So it's interesting because we have a masculine polarity, again, shifting back towards that feminine. And the reason we are here now in this time is that the age of Pisces and the structure of the patriarchy is giving way to the Aquarian humanitarian age, when we bring back in feeling, emotion, love back into balance, because it has been imbalanced. So it's not that we are discounting the masculine as the feminine rises back into power, but we are bringing back in that heart-based ration and logic that is a different ruler system than what we've been underneath, right? So it says, I invite you to gracefully reclaim and honor your nurturing, receptive, intuitive aspects of yourself. All over the world, divine feminine energies are awakening. The return and integration of these energies is crucial to create peace, harmony, and abundance. It is important to be compassionate with yourself at this time. You can then share this with others and be a beacon for healing. The feminine energy of grace is here to support you and ease your way as you step forward and embody your truth. Okay, so we have healing and grace. We have the full moon and the dragonfly. And we have stepping through the otherworldly portal so far in our eclipse window activation. All right, we're cruising along to the last level here. Okay, so the last deck I have is this beautiful deck. Thank you, Stephanie. The Power to Transform. I got this deck in Sedona, and it's cool because it comes with little 3D glasses, right? So you can change your vision just with something as simple as you're putting on some paper spectacles. It doesn't have to be hard, right? How we change and move. So we're going to I need to get, first of all, someone from the live stream channel, please pick a number 1, 2, or 3 for us. And then we're going to have you in the back row. What's your name?
Rhonda.
Rhonda, come on up. And then after you, we're going to have, are you Ashley?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we're going to have Ashley pick another card to come up as well. So Rhonda, come on up here. We're going to pick a transformation after. Please pick a card, and whoever puts number 1, 2, or 3 in the chat first will be the card that we bring in from the Streaming Collective. And I appreciate all of you who are here. 3. Okay, Kate. Thank you. I'm going to do 2 more shuffles here. These are big old heavy cards. Oh, we already knew. Infusion of light. Okay, this is card number 3. First of all, infusion of light. Now, what I'm seeing here is like the ancestors and all of those who come before us behind the scenes here in these little figures, and that we're supported so much more to like we're the culmination of our ancestors' intention, and we are here because we've all experienced living in lower vibrational realities, and we are here to shift the consciousness, and we have that support behind us to turn the wheel of evolution to step into something different. So that's beautiful. Oh, and it looks like almost like an eagle. Eagle has been coming through quite a lot for me in the last couple of weeks, so that's very interesting. It's air sign. Higher view, higher perspective energy. So release fear with patience and focused discipline. Take the courageous plunge, soar into power and leadership. Infusion of light creates the impetus to release fear, leap into uncharted territory, and take risks in the realm of responsible, courageous leadership. The rabbits represent fears to overcome. The mountain lion in the eagle's wing encourages wise use of spiritual power, and the eagle assists us to soar into higher spirit realms. Journey to this vast, remote wilderness. Stand at the edge of the cliff which descends into the deep abyss of your fears and self-doubt. Use this buildup as fear as a catalytic charge to lift out of the dark shadows of your former reality. Release the need to control others, to steal their energy unconsciously, or to manipulate for power. With heightened awareness and inner strength, you are well positioned for wise, responsible leadership. Soar like the eagle into the realm of spirit. Take unprecedented risks, rise into new dimensions, and take others with you. If you have drawn this card, you are being called to release fear. With patience and courage, acquire the discerning use of power. Beautiful message. Anyone get any vibrations off of that? Everyone's nodding. If you all, some of you all know. Okay, and we had 2 people pick card number 3. It's interesting because one of the ones who picked card number 3, Stacy, I think is okay with me sharing this. Her father transitioned about 2 years ago, and he came to her at his memorial on a lake up in Michigan in an eagle that was perched on a tree that flew in basically for it. So since that time, that eagle energy has really been something that when I see it, I think of her father, and the fact that the eagle and the ancestors were something that I channeled in before she even said that is also resonate. Like we have so much love and ability that is lifting us up. So that fear of anything, most of what our ancestors, especially as women, we can look now at like our mothers and our grandmothers and see how much fear of their freedom that they had, how much restriction they had to live with in terms of settling in relationships that were less than ideal, or not having jobs that were recognizing their full power, or things like even wearing natural hair, was something that we could relate to, people having fear of. And so we're so much more free. And that is our ancestors' desire, is that you release anything that you thought that you couldn't be loved, that you couldn't be, all of this stuff. So standing at that leap of the cliff, did you get anything from there?
I got a few things from it. I feel like, if it's all right if I say, with your landlord situation, the one thing I got with that is that maybe that's spirit challenging you, because I feel like you're kind of being attacked in a way. And I feel like that it's an exercise for you to deal with those attacks maybe in a different way. So I think the eagle is saying you need to look at this from the eagle's perspective. Like you kind of said you were doing, you were trying to look at them as more human and not being combative. But I do feel that sometimes, and this is what kind of came to me, that sometimes people come to us and attack us because they're kind of being used in a way too, as a tool to attack us, to test us, or to, ruin our day or get us off track on what we're supposed to be doing. And I feel like, and I don't know if you do things because we've never met before, but it almost feels like to me that you're supposed to work on your landlords. Like you're supposed to go in and remove whatever it is that's influencing them to attack you and fill that space up with light. It almost feels to me like one of the next things that you're going to be challenged to do is maybe deal with dark entities or demonic things that kind of attach themselves to people to attack other people. That's going to be a next challenge if you don't do that already. It feels like, so I feel like Spirit's bringing this to you. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. This is what you need to deal with. This is what you need to do for other people. Because I feel like everyone that's kind of light gets what is darkness attracted to? The light. So you've got a lot of people in the spiritual community, a lot of people just walking around in life trying to do good deeds and vibrate high, but they're being attacked all over the place. And it's like, and we need people to be able to help them protect themselves, but also to remove those attachments because a lot of people don't walk around thinking, well, I want to attack people, but their energy is so low and they vibrate so low that they attract these attachments and they kind of bounce around. But that's just my belief, but that's what I was getting for you.
Well, let me share with you all. So I'm smiling and laughing, okay, because my crew who's online will know. So I had a past life. It was given in one of my first past life readings that I had over at Synchronicity, which was up in Roswell. And the reader was doing a session to see where I was blocking my psychic abilities. And so one of the first lifetimes that she went to, she said I was in ancient China and I was embodying the energy of the phoenix and the dragon. And that in my capacity, I was a healer for the people who were tenants on the land. And the landlord had a sorcerer, and the two of them violently murdered me. Now, this was probably 15 years ago, 12 years ago that I got this message. So unbeknownst to that person, I have had more than my share of crazy landlord situations over the years, to the tune of things you would not even imagine. And I'm pretty much a permanent tenant, which I'm fine with, but it puts me in this dynamic. And so I was attacked because I was helping the other people with my healing and psychic abilities. And even in trying to describe, she refused to say because it was so violent that it immediately brought tears to her eyes. And she was like, it won't be helpful for you to know that, but you've got landlord issues. So at that point in time, then I started looking at where my bad landlord juju, and I'm saying that as a funny phrase because all my friends know that I've been talking about over the years, bad landlord juju. But when I moved to this house, I intentionally said, I am not using that phrase. I'm not reinforcing that story. Me and the landlords are not going to have adversarial issues anymore. We're going to do this differently, right? So I immediately started having issues though, but I refused to give it the narrative of the bad landlord juju. And I and the house have been working consciously together because I feel the presence of the house as an ally. And I've asked it to show me things that I need to know so that it can be resolved, so that it's healthy for me to continue living there and to continue using the space as a healing hub for people to come into. So everything that you're saying about being attacked and having that experience and clearing, and I've had the sister circle over and we've walked the property and the land, and one of the sisters who's also here in the group, Sister Sandy, we removed some energies and attachments and things that were in the
Well, it
structure
almost
of the
feels like,
land.
to me, that the spirit of the landlord from that previous life in China is like a demonic entity, and it's hopping around to your other landlords and still attacking you to this day. You know what I mean? And it feels like you need to, you can take care of that. Spirit's giving you the ability to take care of that.
Well, even doing that, what I said about then changing how I sit there, I'm not harboring resentments against the people. I'm shifting my feeling of love. We don't need to have animosity going forward. Like, you might be just the vessel for this corporation, but I'm going to see you as
Right.
love. And if it's only 5 minutes at a time, if it's 10 minutes at a time, I'm the one that's shifting the dance of the partnership that was at some point I agreed to as a soul, because even when we're victimized, our soul has really signed up for that experience in that lifetime, because it all informs the higher self. You know, when we have things like diseases or tragedies and negative stuff that happens, the soul is still counting it all joy, because we get to have an empathetic position than when we're born again and we learn to live differently and not cause that same energy when we're the cause of someone else's victimization. You know, I could have been a version of that bad landlord in a lifetime. I just am not aware of it now, but I am clearing, right, that energy.
Well, I think clearing it, and I think maybe even doing some sort of a cord cutting to cut that previous life, whatever the binding was, whatever, maybe it was something to do with that sorceress or whoever was working with him, you know, like breaking that bind, breaking that connection to you, and, you know,
moving forward. Yeah.
moving forward. Yeah.
Breaking those connections to step into another world reality. Like, this is something we're all doing. We don't have to be in a karmic polarity exercise as a consciousness where it's either love or hate or variations of disparity and poverty and lack of abundance. All right, so we're going to have you bring in the transformation message for us. I'll turn it this way. Just pick from the...
Thank you.
Find pathway to the light. Identify fear manifesting as injury or illness in your body. Focus on the scintillating white light to increase loving energy within and release the block. Infuse your body with this positive healing light. Infuse your body with this positive healing light. It's that infused light body we started with. Okay, so pathway to the light assists us to release fear and rejuvenate our body with the healing white light. Relax and place your awareness on any physical challenge you may be experiencing. Identify how this condition may be manifesting to prevent you from moving forward. Have courage. Take responsibility and reveal to yourself if this imbalance is hindering your progress. Create a heightened state of awareness by envisioning a future that inspires and delights you. Envisioning a future that inspires and delights you. Focus on light and loving thoughts to raise your vibration and attract a higher frequency of spiritual energy. Isolate the area in your body from which the pain or imbalance is arising. With laser focused intent, visualize infusing the power of the healing light in your body while being aware of warmth, tingling, cooling, or any other sensations. Focus this higher vibration to transform and heal at the cellular level. If you have drawn this card, you are being called to use the beams of healing light to transform fear and physical challenges into a healthy state of being. Okay.
Beautiful.
Beautiful card. And everyone here, you'll be able to use the 3D glasses to look at these cards. Okay, we got one more, Ashley. And let's see, it's 2:05. We got Tracy coming up here. So we're going to get this wrapped up here. Okay, have a seat, Ashley. Now, Ashley, it's wonderful because we have this whole community of healers here who have showed up. We've got readers, we've got Reiki practitioners. Hey, back there, how are you doing? And Ashley, you're also a practitioner, Reiki, and you make, from what I understand, awesome salts.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
wonderful. Thank you for coming today. All right, so let us see what other transformational energy you want to bring in for our collective. You feel it?
Yes.
All right. Ooh, seduction. Ooh la la. Okay. Right. Okay. First of all, sacral, feminine energy, orange, creative power, using our feeling of desire to bring something forth. There is nothing really judgmental about seduction. And tarot, that's the Queen of Wands, right? She's vibrant and she's got her sexy and she's seen as being attractive and is unbothered by her attractiveness. It's just really an energy of, I know my power. I'm in my ability. And of course, it's attractive to you, right? So release the temptation of ego, respect sexual boundaries, balance ideals and spirituality with earthly material power. One of the things that we are all dealing with right now in terms of the Epstein files is we are being presented with sex, inappropriate sexual desire, inappropriate abuse of power against feminine bodies, against powerless bodies, be they masculine or feminine. And the conversation of we need to talk about it, even though it makes us uncomfortable. We need it to be something that's not hidden and that's put under the rug anymore, because that is almost like the ultimate harm to the self of the being, is to have ourselves traumatized in that way. So it's making people very uncomfortable. And we're learning more and more things that disturb us. We had the P. Diddy documentary. We had the Bill Cosby situation. We had the Harvey Weinstein and the Me Too movement. All these are things that are causing us to look at where the boundaries and respect of our boundaries has been violated. So seduction challenges to experience 3 energy lessons: release the lure of ego, rise above the negative use of sexual power, and dance in the harmony of mutual union. The temptress in the water is trying to lure the mountain lion astray to avoid being overcome by his power. His ego is enticed and his leadership skills are compromised. The male figures in the top left are assaulting the female, the negative use of sexual power. The figures at the very top have risen to achieve a mutual union. Note the observing bear, the descending angel trying to rescue the lost soul, and the woman on the left lifting her arms in frustration. Place yourself in these situations. Which role do you play? Release any negative role. Empower yourself and others to feel an equalization of energy. Rise through the portal, the only way out of this entrapment. If you have drawn this card, you are being called to respect boundaries, negotiate fairly, incorporate spirituality, and enjoy earthly material power and success. That is a powerful, powerful message. Very powerful message. Okay. All right. Thank you, Ashley. All right. So, Tracy, we're going to close this portal. Come on up here and draw our final card, our final guidance. Oh, I'm going to have to read this later just because it's on top. It says gathering of eagles. Okay, well, all right, just read it now because everything is intentional. So gathering the eagles, be grateful, allow energy to pass through, become like the eagle and ride the currents. Gathering the eagles integrates physical and spiritual power. The woman has felt overwhelmed by the energies of others. She resists the urge to escape and draws these potent energies into her body, allowing them to rush through. The mountain lion, the conduit for receiving these forceful energies through the crystal in his mouth, represents leadership. The eagles align as allies to elevate her to the spiritual plane. Travel into the inner sanctum of your lucid imagination. Visualize a sacred cave atop a lofty mountain. As you ascend, sense the overwhelming energies of others who threaten to consume you. Approach the cave and offer gratitude for your life. With a rush of electrical energy, your spirit guides reveal their wisdom. Rather than holding on to these overwhelming energies, release them. With the palm of your left hand facing forward in front of your solar plexus, embrace the onslaught of energy. Allow it to pass through your body. With your right palm behind facing outward from your body, complete the circuit as you let go. Thank your guides, exit the cave, and accept the dazzling crystal as a gift from spirit. If you have drawn this card, you are being called to direct inundating electrical energies. Allow them to pass through without judgment. Elevate yourself and ride the currents to a heightened state of awareness. Be grateful for this commanding performance. So what I'm getting is you're watching the news and you're encountering stuff, use that left hand in front of you, right hand palm out behind you. Let that pass through. We are being hit with so much everywhere we go, even a trip to the grocery store, the doctor's office, hearing the news, reading the newspaper, when you feel the, oh my God, how are we ever going to fix this? Put that hand out and use us as assistant and think about that ego coming through. Okay, so give us our portal closure.
Closing. Okay. Represents closing. Okay.
Ooh, look how we have such a different. And this is 7, sunset. 7 is my divine feminine calling card. The Sophia, the mother, the principal. That's always how she shows up for me. So I actually think this is very beautiful. I love the beach. I love the water. If we are closing an energy, let it go with peace, see the beauty in what it was, and don't focus on the problems, and let's move forward into something unknown. Okay, here we go. The sunset portal reminds us that everything eventually comes to an end. The sun is now setting on something significant in your life, a relationship, a project, or an era. Suppose it's an era that's coming to an end. In that case, it may be characterized by any number of things: a place where you lived, a school or business you attended, or something less obvious like a belief you held or a habit you regularly engaged in. Watching a sunset inspires us to celebrate the beauty and blessings we received during the day, the pleasure we experienced, and the lessons we gained. If there was a pain or struggle, a sunset can bring comfort as you watch the day containing these challenges slowly fade into the dark. You may have heard it said that the only constant is change. And this is true on the level of form. In our physical existence, nothing lasts forever. This makes every moment precious and highlights the importance of opening your heart to every feeling and experience as it arises. Then you can fully release old relationships and conditions when it's time for them to go. Feeling pain is a natural part of life. When your heart is broken, or you lose something precious, you will feel pain. If you didn't, you wouldn't feel love and you wouldn't perceive beauty. Your feelings, painful and pleasant, create movement and open you to your most natural and healthy life momentum and flow. To get your feelings flowing, take a few deep, conscious breaths. Then allow your breathing to be natural as you observe your inhale and exhale. Continue noticing your breath for a few minutes. If your mind wanders, gently bring it back to your breath. This simple practice will open your heart to whatever feelings are present within you now. And if you're not sure exactly what in your life is coming to an end, conscious breathing will help you align with your mind, body, and spirit in a way that will open you up to what you need to know. Embrace the full spectrum of feelings related to whatever is ending in your life. Have compassion for yourself as you recall any pain you've experienced. Fondly remember the beauty you perceived. Congratulate yourself for all you've learned, and then let go. Now, I was smiling and laughing here because Tracy has authored a book called Broken Open, and it's about a truthful journey into the heart. And she has created cards and tools and things to help you connect with your heart. But last year, she had a sudden emergency where she had to have triple bypass. And so literally her physical chest was broken open to save her life. Okay, so the manifestation of her message in spirit and in truth of being open to love about something ending unexpectedly, because basically her heart was bypassed, right? So when she woke up, everything was new and different. And so all of the things that went with that, from the anger, the grief, the denial, the how the heck did this happen when I've done everything right? I already wrote the book. You know what I'm saying? I'm already living my reality. So, accepting the pain and the scar and the fact that the body operates different. That's what we're doing as a collective. We're being suddenly shocked into realizing we've got clogged arteries. We got things that were not flowing right. They're not flowing equally and being distributed to all. We've got things in our own life that are not being equally distributed. We might be sacrificing too much for work and not enough for ourselves and our self-love and all that. So we're getting a chance to see what's going on, and eclipses help us break open and figure out that something has to be let go of to change, so that we can really get the fullest manifestation of that open-heartedness that allows us to walk into a new future with acceptance for ourselves and for everyone.
I need to say something.
Yes, please go ahead.
The last time I sat in this chair when you did a live was my first day coming out from after my surgery. I had been in lockdown and I just wanted to get out and do something. And so I look at the sunset as being, I would have so many people that reached out and loved me, demonstrated so much love to me when I was going through. And they would call me off and on, throughout my recovery and ask me how I'm doing. And I would always, end up saying the same thing. And then I said, let me come up with something to let them know where I am in the moment without going through the long spiel. And they would call me and say, I'm just calling to see how you're doing. And I would always say, I'm still a patient. So today, when I look at the sunset and the ending, I am no longer a patient, because my last day of cardiac rehab was on Friday. And I've passed, this is the 7th month, which is the number of completion. So I no longer look at myself as a patient. And today is a day that I'm stepping out, after, my first workshops after going through open heart surgery. So I am truly grateful for this opportunity, and I thank God and Spirit for the journey. And I'm no longer a patient. Yay.
Yay. All right. I'm also hearing Frankie Beverly, Golden Time of Day. So
that's my favorite Frankie Beverly song. Oh my God.
So
you have to play that
when you leave here, put it in your car. You know what I'm saying? Pull the sunroof open, pull in the golden time of day energy and that happy feeling. So thank you everyone for joining. We got to get this wrapped up because we have the open heart workshop. But if you are up in Marietta next month or any time of the month, come in because there's always somebody high vibe giving services here. You can get you some crystals and some copal and all the things to help you manifest the shift in your life. And of course, if you want a reading with me, you can schedule for in-person here at the shop. Or you can contact me on, go to Viberarian.com, and I have my bookings available. We could do one-on-one readings, and this is exactly what I do. So we start with tarot, we look at your energies, and we connect with the oracle guidance. I bring in energy and downloads for that session, and you can shift your journey and walk at a hopefully elevated, enlightened, and empowered level. So thank you all of you for joining, and namaste.
Yeah.